I recently got to interview a multi-million-dollar print-on-demand seller, George McConnell, who focuses on only 3 niches and actually has an Etsy shop dedicated to each niche specifically. The 3 niches being babies, birthdays, and weddings. And in this video, we're going to deep dive into each one of those niches and look at some of the best-selling print-on-demand products that we can stock our shops with and hopefully carve out a piece of the absolutely massive pie that is those 3 niches. So let's get to it. Let's get straight to it. So first, we're looking at babies as a niche. And what do you know? The newborn baby probably doesn't need a gift, but you know who does? The new mom. All right, so here we go. We have a first-time mom coffee mug. All right, in the example, it says Aria's mom in a nice, very thin font. On Amazon, I would not love that font. I feel like that's more of a font that's going to thrive on Etsy. Now, I could be completely wrong in that, but that's just my feelings after, selling on both platforms for years. I love how it looks on Etsy. They really zoom in and highlight the design on the mug, so you know exactly what you're paying for. You don't think you're buying those rings on her hands. You know you're paying for the coffee mug. You can see there it says the name, so that would be the custom element. Also, a second custom element right there potentially is the year that the child was born. I also wanted to point out that we are not just looking at random products. Because I use the Everbee Chrome extension, when I go looking at Etsy for ideas, I can validate them. Okay, so at the top, Everbee is literally telling me that this is doing about 49 sales a month. It's sold over 1,100 times, been viewed 30,000 times, has a 3.75% conversion rate. The listing is 23 months old and has 539 favorites. So without Everbee, you're kind of flying blind. With Everbee, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Now, I wanted to focus on print-on-demand products that I personally curated based on both Everbee's success metrics and the fact that, well, we can fulfill these products. I don't want to show you a bunch of products that we don't have a fulfillment partner for. So I wanted to make sure you knew that Printify has these accent mugs in this color if you did want to offer them. And yes, in the 15-ounce size that I'm guessing we're looking at there in the picture. If you go in Printify and you can actually scroll down and see what print providers have each product in their catalog. It's great when there's multiple, by the way, because the more competition might result in better fulfillment prices for us. Also, if you have Printify Premium, of course, that's also going to bring down the fulfillment price. So this mug actually in 11 ounce only costs $4.47 from District Photo. And if you sell a 15 ounce mug, that is an increase of about $1.50, so that comes to $5.92. So you've got really healthy margins. This mug that we saw here that's a bestseller, selling about 50 times a month, is selling for $14.95 plus shipping. So you got to love that. That's a really nice way to start off. Also, I'm not going to hit you with all the Everbee information as we go, but I wanted to make sure you knew that you can actually track. This was a new thing that they added recently. You can track if a product is trending, looking at recent sales data and extending it out over a period of time. So right here, I was looking at the last 30 days of sales information on this product. And one of my favorite things, you can also see the product's tags and copy them in a single click. Because I know tags is one of those places where a lot of Etsy sellers spend too much time trying to get all 13 tags in 20 characters or less. And it can be counterproductive because that time is money. And you're going to be better off, in my opinion, just getting these listings created as efficiently as possible and then moving on to the next thing. So that's one thing that I think Everbee really does well. Moving on. Oh, another coffee mug. How about that? Similar to in the accent mug with the black handle and the black inside. This is a his and hers. So this is a perfect example of selling multiple products to a single customer. I'm guessing you probably have to add both to cart just based on the price point being basically what we saw in that previous mug in the $14 to $15 range. On the left, you have wife established 2021, mommy established 2024, and then you have the husband daddy equivalent. I love that for a simple one. And these are basic text designs, guys. So whether you're a beginner or an expert level with print on demand, whether you've been doing this for a week or years, these are accessible to everybody. And of course, you can fulfill them through Printify. Next, I thought this one was hilarious. It says upgraded to MILF. I mean, come on. You gotta say that's funny if you haven't seen that one before. And it is a candle. They're charging about $20 for it. And this is available in Printify in both a 4-ounce and a 9-ounce size. It's fulfilled through Printed Mint. That's one of the more popular, or at least I would say more notable printers in a Printify network, in my opinion. The price starts at $9.63 or $8.06 with Printify Premium, and shipping starts at about $6.19. How about a pregnancy journal as a product for mothers, really, right? When we say babies, we're saying, hey, somebody gave birth to the baby. That's usually who's going to be on the receiving end of the gift, if I had to guess. So if you're going to target this niche on your Etsy shop, why not start with pregnancy journals, or consider them at least? Okay, this is a really healthy price point. It's in over 20 carts at a $30 price point. That is impressive. Okay, now Printify actually has a bunch of options when it comes to journals. Heck, they even have Post-it notes. That's interesting as a print-on-demand product. But they've got hardcover journals, spiral notebooks, hardback journals, softcover journals, spiral-bound journals. So they've got a bunch of different options at different price points from different print providers, and the best seller being this spiral notebook right here. Moving on, let's talk about weddings. Okay, the W word. Be careful saying the word wedding if you're going shopping, because you will literally in real time watch prices multiply. They know if you're planning a wedding, they're gonna mark up the prices of everything, and Etsy is probably no exception. All right, let's start with this. Now, I didn't click into the listing because it was an ad, but how about the custom pet integration, integrating pets into weddings? I know that's a really popular thing to do. How do I know? Because my sister recently got married, and whoops, I wanted to show you that I designed her custom cocktail menu. I did a few for her for the bars at her wedding. There she is there in a photo of us at her wedding. Congrats to her. You can see I integrated her dog and my parents' dog. We all have Chihuahuas, if you guys couldn't guess, if you didn't know. So they really like that. It came out really well. And you can fulfill these through Printify. Okay, now take note that the acrylic sign here with the wooden stand, in this case, as of me recording this video, is fulfilled from Germany. Okay, most products in their catalog are fulfilled, or at least have the option of being fulfilled in the US, but consider where your average customer lives, like where you're shipping to, and let that factor into what products you're gonna offer in your catalog, like in your catalog of offerings on your Etsy shop in this case. Because you want to make sure that you're looking out for pricing and whatnot. Like if you have to ship from Germany to the US, the shipping price is really high. Like the actual price for the product is $8.67 with Printify Premium, but because it ships from Germany, shipping is going to be about 49 bucks. So might not be viable to sell to the US market, but if you're selling to the EU, well, that's viable. You can sell it all day. And you can get all that shipping information, by the way, on Printify by simply clicking provider info and then clicking the shipping tab. Next up, how about a personalized sweatshirt? Probably the Gildan 18,000, probably the most popular one with a really affordable price point. Now, you can do DTG, or you can even do embroidery in Printify, which is something worth considering. And with embroidery, you can usually mark up the price point that you sell it at. But how about that? And you can print on the sleeves too, by the way. So that is also worth considering. That's very popular. Okay, and it says Miss Baker. Okay, so obviously that would be a custom element there with the last name and then the initials on the sleeve as well. So in Printify, if you look up the Gildan 18,000, there are a ton of providers that can fulfill them. It's probably just best to use Printify Choice, where they factor in the best quality, the lowest price, the most shipping options, and the fastest delivery. You essentially let their algorithm that tracks that stuff in real time, by the way. Okay, it doesn't just make up a number of how long it takes to deliver them. Because all this stuff gets routed through Printify software, they know how long it takes each of their production partners in their network to get those things out the door. So if you use Printify Choice, you're essentially setting yourself up for the easiest path forward. And as I mentioned, they have both DTG and embroidery as options. Ooh, this is a fun one. How about can coolers? I think koozies trademarked because you never see anything labeled koozie anymore, but can coolers, can holders, these are perfect. Maybe not as gifts for the wedding. Well, I was gonna say for the bride and the groom, but maybe from the bride and the groom to if you give out gift bags, like we did that for our wedding. We had a destination wedding, so I guess it felt more like the right thing to do. I don't feel like you have to do the gift bags, but this is a perfect product for people that are giving out gift bags. Or, I mean, heck, I don't know what type of wedding it is. If people are walking around with beers in aluminum cans, maybe you just give them the koozies there as well. I guess we could have done that. We had an outdoor wedding in Florida, so that was just last year. A nice price point there too. How many do you get in a pack? because that says $77 plus, and it says minimum of 12 of each color, 4 colors max. Okay, so does that mean you maybe get, it says minimum, so maybe that's $77 for 48. Either way, don't worry too much too. You don't have to be the lowest price point to succeed as a print-on-demand seller. That's one of those misconceptions that I think a lot of beginners maybe get scared of, get worried about. So this is available in Printify. They call it a can cooler sleeve. Okay, I had trouble finding it because I'm like, I know it's not under koozie. What is it again? So I just typed in the word can, but then it starts indexing other products as well. So can cooler. Okay, remember that. This is available starting at $5.56 from Printify Premium, and shipping starts at $5.39. And you have the ability to customize the background color and then add all your design elements as well. So when you see it in white right here, understand that like you can completely control the background color. Here's another option for a can holder, by the way. These have been more popular. Instead of doing like the koozie with the light material, they really are truly like can holders. They're stainless steel with a plastic and rubber lid. By the way, I didn't have that memorized. You can see the information right here on Printify. These start at $14.21 with Printify Premium. Shipping starts at $5.69. So I would just charge like $30 for one of those to sell them custom. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be paying fulfillment of about $20. That includes shipping. So on Etsy, maybe you just, you want at least $5 profit per. And if you're doing customization, maybe even more. So in the range of $25 to $30 is what I would charge. Moving on, birthdays. Here we go. 3 of 3. In terms of niches. And what do you know? Another can cooler. Okay. I couldn't resist when I saw one of these listed under birthdays. This has a someone's, what is that, like an old yearbook photo, and it says vintage 1983, where the year is going to be custom, obviously, and the photo. Now, don't sleep on this. This is selling. You guys ready for this? Thanks to Everbee, we know this. 270 times a month. Whoa. That's insane. But I get why too. That's so like, I mean, come on now. The old school yearbook photo. And then also like they found a font that looks just like handwriting there. That font honestly looks like a font called Permanent Marker, but almost like it's filled in. I'm sure you guys can figure out a font that's similar. But this listing has over 230,000 views. Yes, you heard that correctly. Closing in on 250,000 with a 2.53% conversion rate. And the listing is only 22 months old. Imagine, close your eyes and imagine that you are selling that product, and in 22 months from today, which by the way, planning long-term is like the biggest hack to be successful in business and really anything in my opinion, the ability to plan long-term, and you have 270 sales a month being generated from your product in 22 months. That's insane. Okay. You get a couple of those products under your belt and you're chilling. All right. I love that idea. All right. But we already talked about the koozies. We know they're available in Printify. How about these, personalized birth flower tumblers, and they're the glass tumblers with the straws. Now, I don't know how some of these sellers do it. This one specifically is charging $4.50. They're probably charging a lot for shipping on the back end if I had to guess. Either way, they sold over 107, not in the last month, but in the last 24 hours. Absolutely insane. They also run a 70% off sale, which for once, the sale actually looks legit. But I've seen this listing before. I know they price really low. I don't even know if they make any money on this. Maybe they just make their money on the back end, remarketing to people. But either way, they're killing it. And if 107 sales are being made in a 24-hour span, you got to get yourself a piece of this niche. Maybe you say, okay, I'm not going to be able to compete with the price point on these tumblers, but I can go pivot that over to a Gildan 18,000 sweatshirt or something like that. Like, get creative. Maybe you sell it on a damn koozie. I don't know what you do, but do something with this information. I mean, this is absolutely incredible in the birthday niche. Okay, you're adding the name and you're adding the birth flower based on the month. This glass in Printify is available for $10.79 with Printify Premium. Shipping starts at $6.39. Ooh, next up, a shot glass. Now, I've actually sold a lot of shot glasses because I started listing them for sale all the way back in 2017, which was the first year that I even learned about print on demand. So I know a thing or two about selling shot glasses on Amazon and on Etsy. This one's fun. They have a custom element. It is a photo, which used to be a pain in the butt and would mean a lot of work for either you or your virtual assistant. But nowadays, you can just run that through, any software that can remove a background, like remove.bg is a website that you can do that with easily. I think Canva bought them, by the way. And then, you've got the head right there. Slap it on the design. Take a shot for me is the text. You could even offer a custom text element too if you wanted, and then maybe upsell them on it. Because at some point when you have a popular product listing, you're gonna get people that request not just the custom photo, but custom text. Say, yeah, sure, why not? And then say, but it's gonna cost you an extra $3. And then create an additional product listing on your Etsy shop called additional customization. Add a dropdown with different dollar amounts, link them to that and say, add this to cart, set it to $3. When they purchase it, it's just an easy way of collecting the extra $3 for the extra customization. And seriously, if you haven't tried that, guys, it is well worth it. When people ask for those extra customizations, you should be paid for your time. So don't hesitate. That's an easy way of doing it on Etsy that I found. Of course, Printify has shot glasses. They actually have 3 different types of shot glasses. Now, primarily in the past, like I've sold these right here from Orca Coatings, but recently I've been selling a lot of these, and the primary reason for that, they're called turbo shot glass. The primary reason for that is because, well, simply put, their price plus shipping is the lowest, okay? And again, I said plus shipping, so what you don't see here is that the shipping cost currently, as of recording this video for the turbo shot glass, brings it to a lower price point. So I'm just maximizing my profits basically. All right, the custom name cosmetic bags, the makeup bags. These are another one of those on Etsy where the price point is just so low. It's so competitive. I don't really know how they make any money. And I said, don't worry about other people's price points, but when it's like under $5, I don't know. Is it bad advice to say don't worry about it? Maybe it is. Like maybe you just pivot to something else. But I wanted to show you makeup bags in the wedding niche, absolutely killing it. What are they for? The bridesmaids gifts probably. Anyways, they offer different colors. They offer the name customizations or like the little monogram initials. And these are available in Printify for $2.62. Oh, wait a second. Maybe we can compete. Shipping starts at $6.19, but here's the kicker. It is fulfilled from China. So even though the average production time is less than a day, so they're really on top of their game in terms of getting these printed and getting them shipped. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of, a buffer that you're going to need to add to your shipping profile for anything that you fulfill from overseas. And again, it's up to you if you want to even do that, right? It's literally up to you. We know that there's like tariffs that have been kind of talked about recently, and that can be a big wild card, a big variable added to your business. If you don't want that headache, you can just skip to the next product. Speaking of the next product, it wouldn't be a complete video without talking about t-shirts. That's how I got my start with print on demand. So there's always going to be a soft spot in my heart for them. How about the Bella Canvas 3001 shirt? You can do simple things like it's this person's birthday. I just realized, did I mix this into the wrong niche? This is the birthday niche, but this is a wedding bag. Interesting. I might have messed that one up, guys. Forgive me. I think it was indexed on birthdays, by the way. So that's probably why it snuck its way into the birthday niche. But how about this? You add a name, you add what birthday it is. So Jackson's 30th birthday squad are static. Those aren't variables. And then you also add the ability to, have a photo integrated. Again, remove the background, get the head. What I usually do is I run it through some Cartoonize software. I can link to that software that I use in the description if you would like. It's called It's literally called Cartoonize. That's honestly, if you do that, guys, it will smooth out. Like if they send you a low resolution photo that looks all pixelated, it solves everything. It literally smooths it out and works like a charm. So if you do photo customization and you didn't know about that, now you know, because it's going to help avoid reprints and unhappy customers. So anyways, you have the name customization, the birthday, and the photo. What's not to love? And you can fulfill these through Printify. Similar to the Gildan 18,000, for those really popular products, I would just recommend using Printify's Choice. Again, you can see down here, it goes into their massive network. There's probably over 20 different fulfillment providers that have Bella Canvas 3001 t-shirts available. Let them find the best printer for you, and then don't worry about the headache. For the big products like the Gildan 18,000, 18,500 hoodies, Bella Canvas 3001, that is my recommendation. Thanks for watching, guys. By the way, this video was inspired by my interview with George McConnell from just last week. I'll drop a link to that interview right here in case you missed it. He is a wealth of knowledge, so if you're selling on Etsy, you're going to want to go check that out. Also, of course, I'm going to drop a link to both Everbee and Printify in the description. If you're not using those and you're selling print on demand, what are you doing, right? So go check those out as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.